Alrighty, good afternoon, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster Kevin back here once again. I'm here to give you guys a update on what to expect as we get towards the Wednesday and Thursday time frame here. So, if you're just now tuning in, as always, give us a like, share, follow. Really helps out with the page and everything. I'm going to go over a lot of things. I know everybody's got questions about their certain area, certain area this, certain area that. So, please hold your questions. I'm going to try to rush through this information as quick as I can. And then I'm going to tackle questions here. So, first and foremost, I want to talk about this graphic because you're going to see this as soon as this live stream is over, and it's going to be kind of pinned on the page for the next couple of days here. And this is what we call the ice damage index. And you see this, and you may have seen this kind of thrown out there today, but basically this is the index that we look at whenever we get ready to talk about an ice storm potential here. So, of course, 0, very low risk of damage, a few power outages. 1, that's when you start talking about 1/10 of an inch of ice up to 1/4 of an inch of ice. You start talking 15 to 25 mile per hour winds, either sustained or gust, and that's when you start talking about the potential of isolated power outages, roads and stuff becoming hazardous to travel. And then you can see how you progress within the index. It gets worse and worse from there. And of course, number 5, which we don't want, is anything above a 1/2 inch of ice combined with any sort of wind gust. Will result in catastrophic damage to power systems and extensive tree damage, and power outages could last for several weeks here. So I just want to talk about this because this is going to get posted as soon as this live stream is over. It's going to be kind of pinned on the page for the next couple of days here. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things here. So this is the first look precipitation map that you saw this morning. Now, I want to stress about this precipitation map. This is not accounting for the 12Z sweep package that came out around lunch today. So this graphic is going to change, obviously, but it does have a generalized idea on what we're looking at here. So northern, northwestern Arkansas, sleet and snow primarily. You may start off as freezing rain and sleet throughout much of the day on Wednesday before you transition over. Freezing rain, sleet going to snow for much of north central down into western Arkansas here, guys. So as I said before, this is the first look. Don't take this and run with it. It's going to be changed over the next couple of hours. As a matter of fact, we got an update that's going to come out later this evening here. Just kind of wait and see what the more data we get in from today. And then further south from there, west central, central up into northeastern Arkansas, we're talking rain, freezing rain, changing over to sleet, ending as light snow here across this area. If you go with this first look, in that black area that we have highlighted up there, northeast Arkansas from the metro points northeast, is an area that me and Derek both are very concerned about seeing significant snow and ice accumulations in that area. That's freezing rain, sleet, and then on top of that, some snow being on top of the ice accumulation as we get towards that late Thursday time frame. So just got to keep this in mind. So before, this graphic's going to change over the next couple of hours here as we get more data in. Now, further south, this is where the biggest question has been all day and for the last couple of days is how fast does the cold air get here? What are we looking at as how far south this system gets in terms of the winter weather potential? South Arkansas right now looking for rain to freezing rain from the Queen over to Pine Bluff up to Helen. Now, keep this in mind. I said before, this was made at 8 o'clock this morning. This is going off of last night's runs. So we haven't had a chance to update this graphic to account for today's runs. So I would say that freezing rain line from, I would say, Sevier County over to Dallas up towards Phillips County may be brought south probably another 50 to 100 miles to account for the data that we're getting in today. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. There's going to be some shifts with this graphic over the next couple of hours here. We'll have that updated for you guys this evening here. And then, of course, South Arkansas, right now, cold rain, but we will have to wait and see. If the cold air comes in a lot quicker, that's when we could potentially be talking about some ice down there in the southern Arkansas here. So we're going to jump straight into guidance. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into guidance here. I'm going to turn this off and go over to the guidance here. Okay, so there we go. So there's new European model at this point. All right, and I know everybody has questions about preparing, about going to the grocery stores, etc. Honestly, guys, I would not fault you for doing that. I mean, even if you don't see anything or stuff like that, I wouldn't fault you for going to the grocery store and getting prepared. You guys saw yesterday, me and Derek, we went out, got prepared for this, okay? I think the potential of a significant winter storm is on the table. I really think it's on the table with this system. Okay, school con, and everybody's worried about school as well. We don't control the schools closures or anything like that. Honestly, if guidance comes in a lot more closer, and I just got a, I just got a, okay, all right. So I just got an update that a new winter storm watch has been issued. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and check into that in just a bit. Thank you for telling me that. So I'll get to that in just a minute. We got a new winter storm watch that's been issued for this area here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go over to LZK and take a look at that real quickly here, guys. So this is coming in, new data coming in. Winter storm watch out. Okay, so now it's for far western Arkansas over here, and I believe they have extended it down towards the Russellville area. So I'm getting new information in at this point. Okay, so all right, so now they've gotten it from northern Arkansas down into western Arkansas at this point here. So winter storm system approaches from the west will bring 4 to 6 inches of snow, sleet accumulations, a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation in this area here. Also, on the page, you will have that watch go ahead and post it on the page as well here. So that's what it has at this point. I appreciate you guys for telling me that. That was my team, by the way. That's the new winter storm watch here, and I knew they were going to do that as soon as I decided to go live. New winter storm watch gets issued at that point here, so it's going to these watches and stuff are going to be expanding over the next couple of days as we get more confidence on what's going to be happening over this system. Okay, so I'm gonna start you guys off with the Euro, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the NAM because 18Z is coming in. So as you guys can see, we're very busy. We're getting a lot of information in at once. We've got a lot of people on the page trying to answer questions as quickly as you can. But I'm going to tell you guys this now. There's going to be delays. There's going to be delays in questions here because we're getting a lot of information coming in today. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just hold your questions. We'll try to get to you guys as quick as we can here. So this is the Euro, okay? I'm going to show you guys the Euro, the NAM, and I'm going to show you the GFS, okay? Also, by the way, for those that are wondering about the winter storm watch, we're going to have that graphic as soon as this live stream has come to an end here. So there is the rain starting to come in as we get towards late Tuesday into the Wednesday here. As you can see up here, freezing rain, sleet going over the snow up here in Missouri towards Oklahoma, towards Kansas. So this is late Tuesday night, okay? And you start taking this out as we get towards during the day on Wednesday. This is why we're saying during the day on Wednesday, it is going to be primarily rain. I know everybody has heard differently over the last couple of days. This was originally supposed to be Wednesday. This is now looking more towards Thursday, okay? So this is what we got at this point, okay? So for much of the day on Wednesday, you're going to see rainfall. Let me repeat this while I have everybody's attention. During the day on Wednesday, you're going to see rainfall, okay? I know there's going to be somebody out there that's going to ask the questions about, is this winter storm going to happen, etc. During the day on Wednesday, it's going to be primarily rain, except for far northern and northwestern Arkansas. As we get later into the day on Wednesday and into Wednesday night, that's when you're going to start transitioning over to sleet, freezing rain, even some light snow up here in northwestern Arkansas. Okay. Then, as we get towards later in the night, Wednesday night and early Thursday morning, your colder air is starting to make its way down. Your system's starting to get going down here. You can see much of the area is still rain if you go with the Euro, and freezing rain up here in northwestern Arkansas. Okay, so what I'm doing is going step by step on the timing. Okay, because I know everybody's been asking about timing right now. So right now we're looking at late Wednesday night and then early Thursday morning. Okay, and then as you can see, by the time we get towards Thursday morning, the freezing rain really starts to overtake much of northern and central Arkansas. And then you can see up there northeast Arkansas as well. South Arkansas at this point is still a cold rain. Okay? Keep in mind, guidance is not going to do well with cold air. I am fully anticipating for this cold air to be 5 up to 15 degrees colder than what guidance is suggesting at this point. The biggest thing today is that we finally got our system in and we finally got a read on what to expect as we get towards that Wednesday and Thursday time frame. But I still do not think guidance is doing a good job with the cold air here. So, as you can see, okay, by the time we get towards Thursday, now this is where it gets very crucial for central Arkansas. This is what I'm not liking to see. The ice stalls out just south of the metro, from that Mena metro to the Memphis area, up to Jonesboro. Okay, South Arkansas is cold rain. ice across central and northeast Arkansas, and then snow up here in northwestern Arkansas. I do not like this setup at all. Okay. My problem with the Euro, and keep an eye on this, okay? Look what happens. Throughout the day, with Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, Thursday night, you're stalled out with freezing rain, sleet, and eventually, at the very end, you transition over to some light snow. But by then, you're talking at least a 5 upwards to an 8 hour period of freezing rain and sleet on those power lines, on the roads, etc. here. So the Euro is not our best friend here in central Arkansas, okay? I'm going to get to power outages in just a bit. I'm going to get to everything else in just a bit, but I got all this information I got to get out to you guys first, okay? So please, please, please be patient with me, okay? But as I said before, this is what's going to do, okay? So I'm backing this up, and you can see, okay? Wednesday evening, there's your front of boundaries swinging through. And I said before, right now, the Euro's wanting to drop the metro to 32 degrees and then northwest Arkansas into the teens and 20s. All right. This is a lot colder than what models has shown over the last couple of days. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at something. This is the model run-to-run change. And you can see what you're seeing on this map. This is the change between computer model guidance over the last 24 hours. You've gone from guidance suggesting 30s and 40s now to 20s and 30s now. So you can see the colder runs starting to come in with this, okay? So that's what I wanted to show you guys. That's why I'm saying guidance is starting to trend colder, and it's starting to trend further south with this system, okay? But very, very important to note is where does the 32-degree line stall out? If temperatures bust on Thursday, we could potentially be dealing with a lot of significant issues here in Arkansas. It's very crucial that you guys pay attention to our page over the next couple of days, because it's going to be a lot of information thrown y'all's way here. But it's very, very critical on where that 32-degree line sets up, because anywhere along it and north of it is where you're going to see significant ice. And then farther north up there, northern Arkansas, northwest Arkansas, you will transition over to snow, but you will deal with the ice at first here. So let's talk about accumulations here. Now, I want to stress about accumulations. Accumulations are not going to be posted by us until at least tomorrow or early Wednesday, okay? We got to get a good read on accumulations before we start talking about that. But I'm giving you what the Euro's wanting to do, okay? So as you can see, the majority of the accumulated snowfall across northern and northwestern Arkansas, where some places, if you go Euro, you can see upwards to 4 to 6 inches, maybe higher, of snowfall. My problem is this, okay? Let's go to freezing rain real quickly. This is the freezing rain amounts if you go with the Euro. And I'm going to take this out a little bit, okay? As you can see what to do. Up to an inch of ice up here in far northeastern Arkansas, upwards to a quarter of an inch of ice in the central Arkansas, and a generalized quarter to, in some cases, up to an inch of ice if you go with the European model, okay? That is a crippling ice storm for northeastern Arkansas. You do not want that at all. Another thing I want to talk about real quickly, okay, is the wind gust potential with this, all right? Right now, guidance is not really too strong with the winds, about 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, which it has come down significantly from what it was before, where we were talking 35 to 40. But still, 25, 30 mile per hour wind gusts with an inch of ice is crippling up there in northeastern Arkansas, okay? So be prepared for power outages. Be prepared for hazardous travel conditions. You're seeing the winter storm watches starting to come out now. They're going to start really coming out as we get towards late tonight, and especially tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a really big day for us here in the page here. So, as said before, Brittany, I know everybody, as said before, this is one model, okay? One particular model. Right now, I think Arkadelphia, you will see freezing rain down there, okay? Central Arkansas, same thing, okay? We're trying to get to your questions as quickly as we can, but I want to stress that this is coming south, and it's coming in colder than what we're looking at here, okay? So just be prepared for that. All right, now let's go and take a look at the NAM here, because apparently the NAM has been the #1 talk here. The 18Z NAM has been talking. So we're going to go to 18Z real quick. I'm going to talk about this real fast. But while I'm loading this up, I'm going to try to tackle some questions here. So El Dorado, same thing down there in southern Arkansas. It is still a wait and see down there in southern Arkansas. I'm not 100% guaranteed that it's going to be ice down there, because of the fact of where this low tracks. All it takes is this low to go 50 miles north, and you're in a cold rain down there in South Arkansas. So right now, it's a little bit of uncertainty down there with either winter precipitation or cold rain. But it's still a wait and see here. But the one thing I want to stress is that we finally got our system in. So we're starting to get a better idea of what we're looking at with this system. Okay, so this is what NAM does. This is worst case scenario for Central and Eastern Arkansas. Remember at the beginning of this live stream, that area that I drew out, that me and Derek drew out from Little Rock up towards Memphis and up towards Jonesboro, where you could see the potential of significant ice and sleet accumulations. That's the area that the NAM is trying to hold on. So this is Thursday afternoon, South Arkansas, cold rain. Central, a crazy amount of freezing rain. And the darker purples that you're seeing could be heavy freezing rain. Okay? I haven't even begun to look at the instability with this. You could potentially be talking about thunder freezing rain with this. It's a wait and see with this, but this is a very, very dynamic system that you're dealing with. But I do not like seeing this out of the NAM. It's starting to come into a good consistent that we're going to see an ice storm in central and northeastern Arkansas. Okay? And then you see what happens. By the time you get towards later in the day on Thursday, you start transitioning over to sleet and in the snow by the time you get towards that point for central Arkansas, northern and northwestern Arkansas. Meanwhile, northeast Arkansas is still dealing with ice. Okay? So you can see what it does here. And also there's another wave back here that you're going to have to watch late Thursday night and early Friday morning. That will primarily be a light snow or a light sleet event for us here in Arkansas. So let's talk about accumulations. Okay? This is the NAM. I don't like this at all. That is almost 1.5 inches of ice in eastern Arkansas. That is a crippling ice storm. That would shut down eastern Arkansas for at least a week. At least. That is a lot of freezing rain in that area. You do not want to see this at all. However, it's that corridor that we're talking about from northeast Arkansas to central to eastern. That's the area that I'm getting concerned about. So don't be shocked if you completely skip out on the winter storm watches and winter storm warnings. You just go straight to ice storm warning with this. Now, I said before, this is one run, one model. But I do not like how guidance is trending colder and colder and colder and colder and bringing more freezing rain and ice to central and eastern Arkansas. The lower amounts in northern Arkansas because you mix in sleet and snow up there, and lower amounts in southern Arkansas because you mix in cold rain with this setup. Okay, so just kind of, and that's a good comment. Okay, plan for the worst. If it doesn't happen, then at least you were prepared for it. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to, if this didn't happen for their location, they're going to be upset about it. Okay, no need for it. There's just no need for it, guys. Just be prepared for it. If it happens, then you're prepared. If it doesn't happen, then you're good to go. Okay, but at least you were prepared for it. Now, I know everybody's trying to compare this to the 2000 2009 ice storm setup. Right now, it's still a wait and see. Okay, so as said before, take this with a grain of salt. This is just one model that you're looking at. Okay, do not take this and run with it. I know everybody's going to take this and run with it. Keep this in mind. The one thing we're looking for is trends. Okay, the 12Z today. And even the 18Z now is coming in colder and colder and colder and colder. My problem is, where does that 32-degree line stall out? Where does it stall out? Because that's where your heaviest ice accumulations are going to be. Let's go ahead and talk about the snow potential with this. As you can see, the greater confidence for accumulating snowfall across far northwestern Arkansas and into the Boston Mountains up there in northwestern Arkansas. Okay, I am starting to get concerned about this being primarily an ice and sleet storm here in central northeastern Arkansas, northern Arkansas, versus a full-blown winter storm because of the fact that you're having a lot of problems with that warm air aloft. Okay, your surface temperatures are going to crash first, and then your aloft temperatures are going to crash last. Okay, so basically that means you could be at 28 degrees and getting freezing rain, and then at the end of this event you change over to a period of sleet and even some light snow before this comes to an end. Okay, so this is what we're concerned about, especially up here in northwestern Arkansas. That's the area that we're looking at for accumulating snowfall. The ice is going to be primarily from central to northeastern Arkansas. So this kind of fits with our current graphic right now. It's just right now with our current graphic, we're about 50 to 100 miles north than what trends are doing right now. So we're not doing bad with it. It's just we probably will have to come south a little bit with it, but overall you can see what it does. Okay, so that was the NAM. That's the 18Z NAM. Another thing I want to show you, okay, is once again the model run to run change. Okay, and you can see what it does. Look how colder it's coming in with the 18Z. That is a 30-degree difference between the 12Z and the 18Z down there in southern Arkansas. That's a big, big change down there in southern Arkansas. You can see where the trends are going. They're going warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer with this. Okay, that's my number one concern with this right now. And I know a lot of people are leaving because they're not getting their questions answered. Folks, you're gonna have to be patient with us. That's the number one thing we're telling you right now. I got a lot of information I'm getting out to you guys, so all I'm asking is a little bit of patience. But the number one thing I want to stress is how cold the models are getting right now. You can see what it does throughout the day on Thursday. Okay, a 2 to 3 degree difference with model runs. Okay, and you're thinking that's a very, very low change. You know, it's not that much of a change. Let's say 12Z has you at 34 and 18Z has you at 32. You go from a cold rain to a crippling ice storm. That's how close this event's going to be at this point. Okay, but you can see how these temperatures are trending colder and colder and colder and colder with this. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original map, our original first look, and I'm going to tackle questions as much as I can here, guys. Okay, but all I'm asking is y'all be patient with us because we got a lot of information we're getting out. We're going to get that winter storm watch graphic out to you guys. And another thing I want to stress to you guys about that winter storm watch. All right, just because you're not under the winter storm watch doesn't mean you're not going to see anything. Okay, you got to know where your counties are. You got to know where you live whenever you're dealing with winter weather and severe weather. Okay, so just because you're not under a watch right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're not going to see anything. That's the one thing I want to stress to you guys. That being on a watch should not mean that you should not prepare for it. Okay, I've seen setups over and over again where you've had significant winter weather and there was no watch. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so and Dustin, that's a great point. If you be patient with us, I'll get to your question. I promise you I will. But let's go ahead and start talking about it real quickly here. So Ryan, great question. Where do you place Jonesboro in that scale you posted at the beginning of the live stream? Let's go back to it. Okay, let's go back to that scale that I had. Okay, so this is the ice damage scale that I was telling you guys about. You go Euro, you're talking at least a 3. You're talking at least a 3 for much of Arkansas. You go NAM, you start talking 4, and even some cases towards a 5 up there, especially in northeastern Arkansas. You start talking a 5. So that's where you're starting to get concerning. Earlier on, we were talking 1 to 2 because we didn't know where the accumulation was going to be, where the cold air, etc. Now you're starting to talk 3, 4, and then towards even some cases you go with the 18Z NAM, you're talking 5. Okay, so right now, blend of everything, I would probably go 2 or 3 up there. I'd probably go a generalized 2 to 3. Be prepared for road and travel issues. Be prepared for numerous potential power outages. We'll have all that information for you guys over the next couple of days. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of graphics thrown your way. We're very busy in terms of getting all that stuff worked out for you guys. Okay, but this is the number one thing I'm gonna post at the very top of this page is that ice damage index. Okay, and we're gonna post. I'm planning on posting a separate map that's gonna have Arkansas, and you're gonna see where someplace may be a 1 or someplace may be a 2, etc. So that's the one thing that we're kind of bringing to you guys. I know this is kind of new, one of our new graphics that we're going to be showing to you guys, but that's the number one thing I want to stress with this is now starting to get very concerning for the potential of an ice storm out of this situation here, guys. So how much do you think that Black Hatch area over there could move direction? Brittany, right now, to be honest with you, I think it's in a really good area. I honestly think it's in a really good area from central to northeastern Arkansas. I think it's in a really, 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 really good area. Let's go back to it real quick, okay? So first of all, this is during the day on Wednesday, by the way. That's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. Do not be shocked on Wednesday, and I'm warning y'all now because there's going to be somebody out there that's going to say something, okay? Throughout the day on Wednesday, it's going to be primarily cold rain here in Arkansas. Northern Arkansas is going to be the only areas that see the light freezing rain and the sleet up there in far northern Arkansas. Keep this in mind, Okay, please keep this in mind. I'm fully anticipating somebody asking about it, but please keep this in mind. During the day on Wednesday, it's going to be primarily a cold rain. Okay, you get Wednesday night and into Thursday. And notice something. Okay, Wednesday night to Thursday night, not Thursday morning, Thursday night. This means that you're going to be dealing with this throughout the entire day on Thursday. Okay, that's another thing. You start getting ice Wednesday night, you're not going to be done until Thursday night. That's 12 plus hours of freezing rain. That can cause significant issues with travel, with power, etc. Please keep that in mind, okay? If you need to go to the grocery store, do it. If you need to prepare, go ahead and do it. Be prepared for that, okay? Wherever that 32-degree line stalls out is where that certainty is going to be, okay? Flying out Wednesday evening to California and it's an A. Will I be okay? Will I be iced in? You should be fine Wednesday evening, okay? Later into Wednesday night, during the overnight hours, and into Thursday morning is where you're going to start seeing the impacts across the area, okay? So you should be good. Keep in mind that some places may start a lot earlier. Timing is still not certain either, okay? So if they feel like that the travel is not going to be conducive for flying, they'll cancel the flight, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Timing is still a little bit uncertain as well. Michael, I did see the winter storm watch. All the information is on the page, by the way, okay? It went out as soon as I went live, so I don't have a graphic for it right now. But that winter storm watch is for northeastern Arkansas at this point, okay? Central Arkansas, Bryant, I would say ice, okay? I do not think this is going to be an all-rain setup here in Central Arkansas. I just don't see it. I think that you're going to have a lot more colder air coming in. I am very worried about ice in this area, okay? I do not think it's going to be an all-rain situation here in Central Arkansas. If it does, consider it a blessing. I'm just going to put it that way because I know someone's going to get upset if they don't see ice. If you see a cold rain out of this, consider yourself blessed because if you get ice with this setup, it could be potentially significant, and some folks could be out of power for a couple of days, especially if that 18T runs verifies. Okay, so if the last of the winter weather hits Friday, what time frame would it be for the melt off? That's another question. Great question. Right now, guidance is wanting to keep us below freezing until at least a weekend. So keep that in mind. Wherever it falls, it's not going to melt quickly because you got an Arctic air mass coming in rapidly behind it. So you're talking at the earliest, probably Saturday afternoon, or even in some cases Sunday. Okay, much of the day on Friday, you're going to be below freezing. Just keep that in mind. I do not expect a rapid warm-up behind this. You got an Arctic high pressure coming in behind it. You got all that cold air coming in behind it. That's why everybody's going to transition over to snow and sleet at the very end of this because of all that cold air coming in. So be prepared for that as well. That's a great question. It's not going to be a fast melt-off. It's going to at least take probably 1 or 2 days before you start seeing melting. And even then, if it causes issues, you have tree limbs down on power lines, even when the ice melts off, energy and them are going to go out and take care of the damage. So just keep that in mind, okay? Cold rain down in El Dorado, temperature's way too warm. I can see that, Donnie, okay? And like I said before, if you're in a cold rain out of this, consider yourself blessed. All right? Consider yourself blessed. This is one of those situations that a cold rain would not be so bad. I don't think anybody would like a significant ice storm out of this. So if you're in a cold rain, consider yourself lucky. If you're in the snow and sleet, that's great. But that's another thing that I want to stress to you guys. Wherever that 32-degree line sets up and stalls out, that's where you're going to see the ice. That's where you're going to see the significant icing with this, okay? So this is a really good map. It's just maybe 50 to 100 miles north. This is our general idea right now, basically. So I'm just going to lead us up and answer questions while I'm here, okay? So I appreciate the heads up. I appreciate you for tuning in and being here with us. What are the chances of Central Arkansas seeing snow? Very low. Very low. And it's going to be at the very end of this, unless the cold air comes in a lot quicker than expected, okay? We're still trying to work that detail out with guidance, but don't have your snow chances up here in Central Arkansas. This is primarily going to be freezing rain, sleet, and then at the very end, as that colder air is coming in, you transition over. But the majority of the accumulating snow it's going to be primarily up there in western and northwestern Arkansas with this event. I am very, very worried about significant icing events with this. And also, guys, there's another thing. We're going, and Angie, there's no difference. There's literally no difference in the map, guys. You got to know where you live. You got to know where you live. You got to know where your counties are. Okay? Everybody's asking questions about cities, about counties. It's all on here. Okay? Over the next couple of days, please, 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 please find out what county you live in. Please. That's the number one thing we're asking about. Okay? Because everybody's worried. They don't know where their counties are, etc. Know where your counties are. Know where you live, guys. It's very important. Okay? Because if that's the case, then you know where you stand with this situation. Okay? County map's going to go out on the page. Okay? It's not to bash anybody or anything like that. But it's very important that you know where you live, guys. It's very, very important. Okay? Alright, so when will we know that speed before the event? Donna, I think so. I'm hoping we know. Problem is, I'm looking at guidance right now, and it's becoming slower and slower and slower and slower and slower. You see the trend that's going, okay? You do not want this thing to stall out. You stalled it, and that's what the NAM's trying to do, by the way. It's wanting to stall this out, and you don't want it to stall out. If it stalls out, you're going to start talking more and more and more ice accumulations with this. As a matter of fact, you can see what the NAM's doing, okay? It has freezing rain here in central Arkansas at first thing Thursday morning, and it does not get it out of here until 8 o'clock Thursday night. That is 8 to 10 hours of freezing rain. That can do some significant problems here in central Arkansas. You do not want that at all, okay? As I said before, what this black line represents is at the top of the graphic, guys, okay? It's up here. You see where it is on the graphic, okay? Just look at the graph, 5 seconds. All your answers are going to be on there, okay? That's what that black line means. You see it up here at the very top of the graphic, okay? See before, going on everything right now, okay? Hot Springs, where does it stand for that ice damage index, okay? Probably a 2 or 3. And right now, it's still a wait and see on all that, okay? We have a lot of questions that we're trying to figure out right now in terms of where accumulations are going to set up, where this is going to set up. I know everybody's got accumulation questions. They're trying to figure out how much we're going to deal with. You've got to realize that accumulations are not going to be nailed down until we get probably day 1 or day 2 out of this, because you're going to get guidance that's going to come in and say something different. Okay, that's why we don't jump with accumulation maps. That's why you don't see it on our maps here. Okay, accumulations are going to be something that is going to be addressed over the next day or 2. Okay, we're now getting new winter storm watches out. Okay, I'm getting that information in as quickly as I can. Okay, so let me go to the main page real quick and kind of tackle it. Okay, so now much of northern Arkansas, and I expected this, by the way, much of northern Arkansas is now under a winter storm watch. Okay, and I told you guys this yesterday that much of northern Arkansas was going to start the ball. Okay, they're going to start the ball with the winter storm watch. So now you have winter storm watches out for much of all of northern Arkansas. That's Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Russellville, Marshall, Mount Home, Jonesboro. Now you're starting to see the winter storm watches come out. Okay, over the next day or so, it's going to start pushing south and south and south once we get a better confidence on what we're looking at here. And don't be shocked if some folks go straight from nothing to an ice storm warning. Don't be shocked about that either. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. How bad is travel from Texarkana to Wynn on Friday? I would not recommend it. Okay, right now our best case scenario is this ends up a cold rain for southern Arkansas. Okay, but honestly, for Friday, I would go ahead and plan for not to travel too much on Friday. Just go ahead and have that mindset in place. All right. Once the transition in snow does happen, how much time is left for the precipitation comes to an end? Naomi, it's going to be a very, 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 very short period of time. It's going to be maybe 2 hours or less before the precipitation completely gets out of here. Michael, I see that. Yes, I know the watch is for 4 to 6 inches of snow and sleet. Folks, let me stress this, okay? This is a first look winter precipitation map. Let me repeat that. This is a first look precipitation map. Changes are coming. Be patient. That's my last warning to you guys, okay? Where would you put Arkansas County in the ice scale map? Right now, still waiting to see on all that, okay? Main thing I want to stress to you guys right now is that ice accumulation is possible for central up to northeastern Arkansas. Okay, that is a combination of sleet, snow, and freezing rain up there in northeastern Arkansas. Okay, keep that in mind. This map is going to change. Okay, Winter Storm Watches came out after the live stream starts. So I didn't have a lot of time to go through and change the map. Okay, all this information is going to be coming out quickly, guys. I promise you will. Okay. All right. So let me see here. What about South Arkansas right now? It's still a wait and see. Right now, I think the better call will be a cold rain because there's so much uncertainty. If trends start coming in colder, then that's where you're going to start seeing the ice potential down in South Arkansas. But right now, I would say South Arkansas cold rain is the better call with this. Okay, so you're not going to get accumulations out of us right now. It's just not going to happen. Okay, accumulations are going to be something that's going to be addressed over the next day or so, because guidance is going to come in. Let's take this for example, because I know everybody's got accumulation questions. Let's take this for example. 12Z NAM comes in and says you get 6 inches of snow, and then 18Z comes in and says you have 3 inches. Okay, then you made a graphic that says you're getting 6 inches of snow, and then guidance comes in and it comes lower. Then you got to go back and change that accumulation map over and over and over and over and over and over again. So that's why we're not putting accumulation maps out right now. We want a general idea before we put an accumulation map out, because you guys don't want to see flip-flopping with the accumulation map. Okay, so folks understand models will show something different every run. That's a good point. Every run is coming in colder. Every run's coming in further south. Okay, Northern Arkansas is starting to ball, and I was telling you guys this yesterday in the live stream that Northern Arkansas were going to be the one. Was going to be the one to start the ball. Okay. Also, the map is on the page too. Okay. All this information is on the page too, guys. All right. So it's also posted on the page. So please take a look at the page as well. All right. So let me see here. Going over all the questions. What do you think the road is going to be for Arkansas County? Right now, it's still a wait and see down there. Okay. I would prepare for ice down there in Arkansas County. That's in southern Arkansas and southeastern Arkansas. It's still a wait and see at this point. My problem is right now, and the reason why we're saying that, go back to Michael Deuce's point. Okay, your model runs are becoming colder and colder and colder. So you're taking this map and you're slamming it 50 miles to 100 miles south every single time. So until we get a sustained trend, it's going to be kind of a blend of everything right now. But you can see on what it's doing at this point. Okay, so right now it's still a wait and see. Michael Dew, I've stressed this a lot. Okay, this graphic was made at 8 o'clock this morning. Last night, guidance had freezing rain up there. Still wait and see. Okay, so let me see before going over everything right now. And that's like before. I'm not trying to get on to you guys or anything like that. It's just you gotta have a little more patience with us, guys. It's a million questions going out, and we're trying to get to it as quickly as we can. Okay, so let me see here. I appreciate you guys for the stars, by the way. All right. How about Surrey, C, and White County up there in Central Arkansas? Everything's on here, guys. Okay, everything's on here. All your counties. This is why this map is separated. You have cities on one side, counties on the other here. Okay. So going tomorrow for supplies. Don't blame me. If you guys wanted to today, you could go ahead and do it today if you had the chance. At this point here, okay. Let me see here. I like days off work, but you can take that much ice somewhere else. I know. And that's another thing. You know, a lot of temperatures are going to play a big role in this as well. All it takes is for temperatures to come in a lot colder, and you start talking more snow. Or they come in warmer, you start talking about ice. Okay, so that's why we're saying right now it's still a wait and see on everything. Okay, everything is still trying to balance out between where the majority of the freezing rain is going to be, who's going to see what, etc. Okay, but this is why this map is separated. Okay, know your counties. Number one thing, know your counties. Know where you live, and all you have to do is very user friendly. Just place where you are on a county map. County map, that's the reason why this is separated on here. This is the reason why the cities and the counties are separated on this map. Okay? So, Let me see here. Hoping it's just south towards Southwest Arkansas. It's still a way to see down there in Southwest Arkansas. I may have missed it. I was asking that 1 to 5 index in the White County area. 2 to 3, broad area. There's a broad area, just to kind of ease everybody's minds about it. 2 to 3, broad area right now. We'll wait and see on how everything sets up. The main thing I want to stress is where does the ice accumulation set up at this point, okay? Will this compare to 2009? Still urged to be determined with that, okay? I'll get back with you on that question after this event's over with, okay? Let's see here. Baxter County up there in northern Arkansas, you're under wind storm watch now, okay? Let me see here. It's looking like last year won't get a lot down there in Howard County. Right now, like I said before, still waiting to see. The problem is down there in South Arkansas is if there's a lot of warm air down there, then it's going to cut you guys off with the ice potential. It's just going to be a cold rain down there. So another thing, anybody that's wanting to know about the black line, it's up here, guys. Take a look at the graphic. Okay, I know everybody. There's the one thing I want to address too. I know everybody see this graphic and they see the colors. Take 15 seconds, read the entire graphic. Okay, read the entire graphic. You know where you live. You know where everything's placed. Read the entire graphic before trying to figure out where everything's at. Okay, so let me see here. All right, so yep, that Mark. Thank you for answering that question. Let me see here. What's going on questions right now? Okay. All right, and I know a lot of people are leaving because they're not getting their questions answered either, guys. All right, so let me see here. I know it's a waiting game right now. When do you expect a more confident forecast? Tuesday night, Wednesday? I would say probably right now, to be honest with you, if trends continue like this, probably tonight. We got our system in. We got a good read on it. So I think we're good to go in terms of where we're standing with the system. We've got the system here now. That's no more thing. What happens after this point? Okay, so this is why that's why we've been stressing to you guys so much that there's going to be twists and turns, twists and turns, twists and turns over the last couple of days. Okay, there's going to be a lot of twists and turns with this system. All right, so just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, I do want to mention to people, please do not panic by it. Eat some bread and milk and whatnot for other people. That is a great comment. Whenever you're preparing for a winter storm or an ice storm, think about the other person too. Don't just panic buy and buy everything, because you got to realize something. This is going to be temporary. It's not going to be a month long or anything like that. It's going to be very temporary. Okay, so that's a great comment. Okay, let me see here. Just going over everything. Okay, I will take my camera and tripod and wrap out and Conway and watch. Jesus. Oh man, I would really hope nobody's out on the roads with this. Okay, all right, but let me see here. And that comment, I saw that one comment. We're not begging for any donations or anything like that. I hadn't even mentioned it in this live stream. If y'all feel like doing stars, great. If you don't, so be it. All right, so let me see here. Okay, worry about the hospitals and your care if it gets that bad. Great comment, Dustin. I am very worried about that too. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, shelves already very empty in Bennett's County. Don't wait till the last minute, folks. That's a good point. Okay, let me see here. Okay, when this hit, when it'll be over? This is going to be Thursday into late Thursday night for majority of this area here. Northern Arkansas is going to start the ball first Wednesday night, and it's going to go throughout the day on Thursday and then the Thursday night. Let me stress something for those that are just now tuning in. This will be updated, okay? I promise you it will be updated, okay? This was posted at 8 o'clock this morning, all right? So keep this in mind. Southern Arkansas, I think they're still good with a cold rain down there, but north, I-30 north, that's the area of concern at this point, okay? This is going to shift a lot over the next couple of days here. So let me see here. And so before, I appreciate you guys being here, all right? I really appreciate that. Let me see here. Okay, so if you guys got any questions, please let me know. The snacks and sodas almost gone. Yeah, and I know, and this is what I was telling you guys yesterday, that it would be better to go ahead and get started yesterday. That's what me and Derek did, because we anticipated that everyone was going to come out during the early part of this week before this event. So that's why we were saying yesterday is probably a good day to do it. and then today will be a really good day. So if you can get out early, that's great. Let me see here. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm going over everything here. So I'm preparing my elderly clients. They only have electric. I'm very worried. That's a good thing. Yeah, we'll be making ice angels instead of snow angels. That's funny. That's funny. I don't think you'll be making some ice angels with this. This is primarily freezing rain with this. But let me see here. If you guys have any questions, please let me know at this point. Okay. All right. And also another thing, and those down there in Mississippi and Alabama, I'm seeing that too. There's a threat of severe weather going on with this as well. So this is starting to shape up into a major event where some places could see significant ice and snow, while others could be seeing severe weather. And I was telling you guys about this yesterday, that you did not want to be on the south side of this system, because while we're dealing with winter weather here, down there in the southeast, you could potentially be dealing with severe weather. So that's why this system is so dynamic. That's why the track of this low is so crucial, because it's not only for winter weather, but folks that are outside of Arkansas in the southeast, that's where you're seeing the potential of severe weather down there. So luckily for us, we're going to be on the north side of this. We did not want to be on the south side of this at this point. Okay, so can you show us potential accumulation map again? Right now, Chris, those accumulation maps were guidance. It's not our thinking. It's just what guidance is looking at. But a broad area, I would probably go with probably a quarter to, in some cases, half an inch of ice. Greater snow accumulation across northern, northwestern Arkansas, and better ice accumulations down here in central and northeast Arkansas. We haven't made an accumulation map out yet. Okay, we were waiting to see what today's runs were going to do before we even attempted to try to go with the accumulations here. So, John for DoorDash says this storm unfortunately is going to quit me. I know. That's the one thing I always worry about. Also, that's a good point, Sherry. I know a lot of people with energy and RDOT, they're starting to get ready for this system as well. It could be a potential significant event here. I'm going to go ahead and read to you guys the winter storm watch while I have this up on the screen here. So this is for northeastern Arkansas here. Okay, so this goes for Harrison, Mount Home, Cave City, up towards Western Grove, up towards Russellville. Okay, take that back. This is for north central and northwestern Arkansas, northern Arkansas here. So a winter storm approaching from the west will bring 4 to 6 inches of snow and sleet in portions of the area. Okay, so Michael D, I'm going to address to you your comment with this. Okay, that winter storm watch is not only for snow and sleet accumulations. That winter storm watch also is for 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of ice, which is catastrophic ice, by the way. You don't want that. Okay, so keep that in mind. That winter storm watch is not for 4 to 6 inches of snow solely. It's for that ice potential too. So what I'm thinking is what's going on is they've separated that winter storm watch. So your area in northeast Arkansas, there towards Newport, is the ice. Northern Arkansas, northwest is going to be for the snow. So I see what they did. They divided the winter storm watch up into two different potential hazards. 4 to 6 inches of snow up there in northwest Arkansas and northern, and then eastern Arkansas and northeastern Arkansas for the ice. That's what's going on here, because they added and/or the potential of ice with this here. So let me see here. Too bad that's for service. Don't add new zones till late February. Be interested to see how new zones play out. Yeah, that's being Facebook for the notification issues. Guys, black line, it's on the graphic. Okay? Those that are wondering about what the black line means, it's on the graphic. Let me see here. I'm waiting to Wednesday to send the hubs out for battery and sandwich stuff. Looks like we'll lose power, but it's a wait and see area. Donna, I would probably go ahead and do it today. I said for it. Your area is gonna trend south. I would go ahead and get it done today or tomorrow. I wouldn't wait all the way to Wednesday, because you wait to Wednesday, then you're probably not going to see much in the grocery stores. Okay, so I would go ahead between today and tomorrow. It would be the best time to get prepared for this. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, all right. So let me see here. Significant ice accumulations. Okay, look on the map. It's at the right. It's at the right top right corner. Thank you, Mark, for pointing that out. I wish I could pin your comment. Somebody pin his. Someone that's on my team that's listening in. Pin Mark's comment to this live stream. That way you can see. For those that are wondering what the black line means. That's where it is. Okay, so let me see here. Going over questions at this point. Okay, all right. Let me see here. I'm trying to get to as many questions as I can. Please prepare for your pets. That's a good point. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. Okay, so do you think the Metro may see power outages? Potentially, especially if the NAM has as well. I don't like the 18Z NAM at all here. So, gut feeling up there. Yeah, half an inch of freezing rain, 2 inches of sleet up there in northeastern Arkansas. That's a really good call up there. So, a good chance northwestern Arkansas, Benton County will lose power. My worry up there is that you will see ice and then going over to snow in those areas. Now, luckily for you, that snow is probably going to be dry snow because you're going to have a lot of cold air filtering down. My problem is if you have ice on the power lines and snow starts wet and then it starts drying out as the cold air is coming in, that can cause power outages up there in northwestern Arkansas. That's another worry that I have up there. So just kind of keep that in mind. The pink area is all on the map, guys. It takes 5 seconds to read the graphic, okay? Let me see here. Going over everything at this point. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so going over everything, going over all the questions. Batesville, you're on the map. Okay, let me see. Okay, so let's move forward. Those that are asking about cities and counties, everything is on the map, guys. And if you can't see it on this live stream, take a look at the page. All the information you need to know is on the page. Everything's going to get pinned to the top. All the information you need to know is going to be at the top here. So it's probably going to be a very big post that's going to have ice accumulation, snow accumulation. Everything you need is going to be pinned to the top of the page. Okay, so it's very easy to find, very easy to locate your area, etc. Here. Okay, so feel like, and also Kevin, that's a really good point. Strong northeasterly winds is concerning with this system. Basically, what that is basically you will sneak the cold air in on the back side of this, and it will filter the cold air down in central Arkansas and eastern Arkansas, and it will kick the 32-degree line down into southern Arkansas. Great point, Kevin. That's a really good point here, guys. So, Mark, gonna tell you that's a really good comment. That's a really, really good comment right now. Oh man. Okay, so let me see here. Probably we waiting game. I went ahead and covered firewood. Even if it's a waiting game, guys, I'd rather for you guys to be prepared. Don't go last second and wait till we get better confidence and go from there. Even if it's a cold rain, guys, at least you're prepared. And even then, I've seen setups before where we've had cold rain for southern Arkansas, and it ends up being nice. So keep that in mind. I would go ahead and prepare now while you have the chance. If you wait till Wednesday, you're going to be dealing with chaos. Because I know when the majority of everybody's going to wait till Wednesday before they start preparing. Don't wait till Wednesday. Try to do it today or tomorrow. That's the best time to do it. Jeff, thank you. I'm going to try to address the 18Z here in a bit. Let me see here. All right, so let me see. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right, so that's the winter watch at this point. Okay, so thank you for that, Rose, for that comment. All you need to know is on that information. Okay, so will refreezing mean issue on Friday and Saturday? Matter of fact, let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go back to the NAM real fast. So we're going to go to the NAM real quick. Let's talk about that real quick. As a matter of fact, we won't go out to Friday. Let's go to GFS. GFS is going to be better to talk about this, okay? So, all right, let's talk about Friday real quick. And this is why we're stressing. By the way, you can see next weekend. There's another system that the GFS is trying to throw out. So, this is why I'm worried about refreezing. This is throughout the day on Friday. Much of the area is below freezing, okay? You may see freezing on Friday, but it's still a wait to see. You go to GFS, you're in the negatives up here in northwestern Arkansas, late Friday night, early Saturday morning. So there's a lot of issues on Friday, and even in some cases, this could easily drag out to Saturday. And if you go with GFS, okay, there's another system that comes out late Saturday night or Sunday, so you're trying to recover your roads, and then you get another system to throw even on a light snow event, what hurts you with this system, okay? So that's what GFS want to do with next weekend. So you may see probabilities go out for the weekend for this system too, okay? So kind of keep that in mind with this, and kind of plan along with this as well, because if this verifies, you throw 2 to 3 inches of snow on top of roads that are trying to recover from ice or / winter storm across the area, okay? So that's the issue at this point, and that's what GFS is wanting to do. I hadn't even looked at the Euro that far out. Let's go and take a look at it real quick. Okay. All right. And Stephanie, there's nothing wrong being over-prepared. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Okay. The Euro. Okay, so the Euro keeps it south of Arkansas, as you can see. It keeps it south of the natural state. So that's the number one thing that I want to stress to you guys right now, is that there's another system, but right now there's still disagreement with this here. So this is all confusing. Other weather stations are showing mild for central Arkansas. I don't buy that. I don't buy it being that mild here in central Arkansas. You may be talking about Wednesday, and that's another thing that's going to throw people off, is they're going to be expecting this on Wednesday, and it nothing happens, and it's all Thursday. So keep that in mind. Mark, oh man, that's funny. Hello, darkness, my friend. That's a funny comment, man. So let's see here. Okay, so that's what the Euros want to do, and this will be your best case scenario, by the way. You get back in the 40s on Sunday. Still waiting to see on all that, by the way. But that's what's want to do here. Let me back this up to Saturday afternoon here. And Euro is really, really warm. But Friday has 40s. I don't buy that. Especially with significant ice and snow on the ground, I don't buy 40s on Friday. You will probably have a hard time getting above freezing on Friday here. But you can see very, very cold temperatures coming in behind this system, guys. So that's the number one thing I want to stress to you guys at this point. Be prepared for that, okay? Be prepared for easily days of where you could potentially see power outages, where you can see travel impacts. Not on that Friday time frame, but this could potentially go into Saturday. And if GFS verifies, it brings another round of snow on Sunday. So you talk Monday into the Tuesday time frame for that potential, okay? So let me see here. Okay, let me go over every question. And instead of if you guys got questions, please let me know. I appreciate you guys for staying to this live stream. I had almost 1,000 viewers. I'm down to 300, which is normal because I said a lot of people come to the live stream, they bounce off because they don't get their questions answered. Y'all stayed this long. I really, really appreciate it. And another comment that was thrown up is the later you stay in these live streams, the better shot you have of having your questions answered. That's the number one thing. So the later you stay, the better shot you have of getting your questions answered. So just kind of keep that in mind. If y'all stay this long, I promise I'll get to your questions. You just got to have a little patience with me because I got to get all the information out to you guys first, and then I got to get to the questions. I don't want to answer questions, and then I got information to come out. So do you think Texarkana has a real chance of seeing being cued with the ice? I think right now, good question. Cold rain right now. Cold rain. I think this is going to be cold rain for down there in South Arkansas at this point. Now, at the very end, I think you could change over. Now, the problem is down there in South Arkansas, you get a 50-mile shift, and you go from a cold rain to a significant ice storm. I'm very worried about that I-30 corridor. So that's a really good question. Right now, it's still a wait and see. Better confidence would go a cold rain, but I can't rule out. I cannot rule out you guys being thrown into the ice pits down there. I've seen this before down there in southern Arkansas. So my next update, Gail, probably tomorrow, but I want to see what 0Z does. I may kind of throw in like a video update tonight and kind of talk about 0Z guys tonight here or something like that. I don't know yet. It's just waiting to see what my schedule is this evening. So, and that's another thing. Tomorrow, in the Wednesday, you may see kind of like a 9 p.m. or a 10 p.m. live stream or something like that, where we kind of talk about what the 0Z guidance does here. So, that's so for guys. I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate y'all staying in. How strong would the winds be in the metro with the freezing rain? Good point. Let's talk about that. Okay. So now you're in a live stream where you've got 300, 400 people in, and I used to work at a grocery store, and this is where we tell people to be patient, and they leave, and then the people that are patient get the treat. So that's how it is. You know, if you stay this long in a live stream, if you're this patient, you stay this long in a live stream, then you get to ask questions, and I get to tackle them right there because it's not so many questions coming in. So anybody that's in this live stream that tunes in, keep in mind, if you wait me about 10 or 15 minutes, then I'll start talking about your questions here. But let's talk about the wind real quickly here, okay? So this is Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. The Euro right now is not really that bad with wind, okay? Sustained wind, let's go sustained wind. Sustained wind is about 10 to 15 miles per hour, higher gusts of 25. It's not an issue unless you have significant ice. If you start talking about half an inch of ice, 20-mile-per-hour winds are going to bring your power lines down because it's gonna weigh it down. It's like I wish I had something here to compare it. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But what happens is your power lines are here, you get ice, and then it starts weighing down on the ice. The more you get, and you get 20 mile-per-hour wind gusts, that's all it takes, and your power lines just come off. Okay, so that's why I'm saying even with 20-mile-per-hour winds or 25-mile-per-hour winds, you could potentially see significant ice with the significant ice issues with this. Excuse me. So let's go to NAM real quickly, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the 18Z, and then I'm probably going to hop off here, get some graphics out, and then work on your forecast here, guys. So I'm curious to see what NAM's doing with the wind. Let me see. Back this up a little bit. Okay. This right here is very concerning. You do not want this at all. You get 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts with an inch of ice. That is a catastrophic ice storm. Catastrophic ice storm. You don't want that at all. So generally, 25 to 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts, your problem is this. Let's go to, I didn't mean to click on that. Let's go to freezing rain, okay? The problem is this. You got almost over half, almost half, excuse me, an inch and a half of freezing rain in central Arkansas. That is right over the metro. That would shut down Little Rock. It would just shut it down completely. Okay, so I'm worried about Jonesboro on the ice. What about the winds up here? If you go GFS, not so bad. NAM, if you go NAM with the ice totals up here in Jonesboro, you're talking inch of ice. Okay. Euro, let's compare the models real quick. Let's talk about that. Okay, so let's jump this over to the GFS. Bear with me for just a minute. I'm gonna switch this over. Okay, so this is GFS. Okay, now I'm starting to get concerned in this area. You notice something? NAM, GFS, Canadian, and now the Euro. That's my worry. That's my worry. You're getting NAM, GFS, Euro. All the models are coming into a consolidated area. Like I said before, some places in northeast Arkansas, you may go from nothing to an ice storm warning. Just like that. So keep this in mind, okay? All the models are starting to hone, and this is really good consistency with models. And no, I was not cussing, by the way. You wouldn't know if I was cussing. But I wasn't cussing. But really good consistency with model guys right now. Okay? Let's take a look at this again. There's Euro. Okay? Let's go to GFS real quick. Okay? GFS. So you can see it's further south, but you can see what it does. Okay? That's GFS. It's scary. It is almost scary how the NAM and the GFS are like this right now. It is almost scary. It's just the NAM is about maybe 50 miles south. Maybe 50 miles south. Now, I'm going to say this. If this event happens, we get a significant ice storm, etc., Canadian is going to be the winner. The Canadian model is going to be the winner out of this entire event because it's been a brick wall. The Canadian has been a complete brick wall with this ice storm. So GFS didn't do it, Euro didn't do it, NAM didn't do it. Canadian would take the win out of this if it happens because the Canadian's been a brick wall the entire time. The GFS, the Euro, all the other models have been back and forth. So the Canadian model would take the cake with this here. So I'm late coming in. Can you go over totals Expected again. Are you predicting for freezing rain and sleet to central Arkansas? Mark, thank you for answering that. Totals are still kind of uncertain. You can go back in the live stream for current information, but I'll go ahead and address your comment. Right now, a combo of both. And let's talk about sleet while we're here, okay? So this is sleet accumulations. Better northern Arkansas, northwest, but through here is where you'll have to watch for a combo of sleet, snow. Let's go to snow totals real quick, okay? So snow up here, all right? And I'm going to take this all the way through. Let's take this all the way through, okay? So there's your sleet, okay? So an inch of sleet over an inch of ice, your roads are done. That's game over right there. And your snow totals, no snow yet, but you would transition over to light snow for this event's over. So your roads are done. You get an inch of ice, of sleet, excuse me, an inch of sleet along with an inch of freezing rain. You're done. Your roads are done. There's just no point. There's not going to be any travel with this. So, can you send me the pick later? I missed it. Mama Donna, you already know. I got you. Let me see here. Why does that white pocket northern Arkansas on a map? Great question. Why do you see the white pocket up here? And that's why you see the snow totals, okay? It has a sleet storm in northern Arkansas, okay? So freezing rain, hardly nothing at all, which is best case scenario. You don't want freezing rain out of this, okay? But you get a sleet storm up here in northern Arkansas, which I could see that happening too. Somebody getting a full-blown ice storm, someone getting a full-blown sleet storm, and someone seeing a snowstorm out of this. This is like Channel 7 says, an Arkansas slushy. This is basically just a combined mess in Arkansas with this event. It's not one solid precip type. You've got sleet, you've got freezing rain, and you've got snow to deal with. Kind of a triple threat of winter precipitation across the area. Okay, so are all the models trending colder? Yes. Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay. Let's go to the Euro. By the way, Northern Dogs barking in there. They're enjoying the 70-degree weather. By the way, I'm not the only one that has their AC on today. I want to know that in the comments too. How many people have their ACs on today? We're here talking about a winter storm, and we've got our ACs on in the weather center right now because it's almost 70 degrees. So I'm gonna check the WSI here in a minute. Kevin, thank you for telling me about that. Let me see here. Of course, we're getting today since I'm wearing shorts today. Yeah. Southeast Arkansas, we're thinking probably late Thursday if you change over at all. Some part of South Arkansas may stay a cold rain. Best case scenario. This is one of those events that you want to stay a cold rain. You want to stay a cold rain out of this entire situation. Okay? You want to stay a cold rain. I cannot stress that enough. You want to stay a cold rain out of this. I'm going through stuff right now. I'm getting information in at this point. I don't know if they've updated it or not. Have they updated it? Okay, so yeah, it's been updated. So they kept it north, which I don't buy right now. Let's go to Little Rock real quick. Okay, so if you see me looking it down on another screen, I'm trying to get that information up. So yeah, I don't buy it being that far north. I think you're gonna have a lot more impacts down south than you will up here. So that's what it's wanting to do. I don't buy that. I don't buy it. I think it's the WS. For those that are wondering, WSSI is a winter storm severity index here, and it's basically taken out much of central and northeastern Arkansas. I mean, it's just completely removed, which I don't buy it at all. I'm having a very, 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 very hard time trying to figure out if this is going to be okay. So days 1 through 4, yeah, I don't buy that at all. I just don't buy that. So I'm not even going to show it on here because there's no point. So I'm going to wait and see what it does later on. But right now, it's just mainly focusing across northern Arkansas, which I don't buy. I think you're going to have impacts further to the south from there. So it's just that graphic I showed you earlier, Donna. Let me see here. Yeah, the heat was on super early this morning, and the AC comes on here. So that's Arkansas for you, man. It's 70 degrees one day. I stormed the next. So I feel like you'll get the least amount of attention to Northeast Arkansas. We don't. We don't. Chase, we've been on Northeast Arkansas the entire time. I promise you. I promise you, we're getting as much attention to everybody as possible. This is almost a statewide event. So nobody's getting ignored. Nobody's getting ignored at all. Okay? Anybody that feels like we're not giving you attention, I promise you we're giving you attention, guys, as much as we can. As much as physically, humanely possible. Okay? Nobody's getting ignored on this page. Okay? So, WPC is showing a colder solution than the NAM. Kevin, do me a favor, PM me that map. I haven't looked at it as of yet, but do me a favor and PM me on Facebook about that map here. I'll try to pull it up and take a look at it here. So prepping the animal pens today, ice is not going to be okay. I greatly agree with that. If you open the door and a window, you should get a nice cross breeze, especially in the front and the back porch. Yep. The greatest probability for impact from freezing rain on Thursday, shifting east with time, extending from northeast Texas to southern New England. In particular, this is likely a continuation of earlier precipitation that could lead to total ice amounts of a half an inch or locally higher amounts. This can create dangerous travel impacts in terms of potential power outages and potential of hazardous travel conditions in the area here. Tree damage. This is another thing, by the way. We're in a drought. It's going to be very easy to get tree damage with this situation. We are in a serious drought in Arkansas. It's going to be easy to get get tree damage here with this setup. Okay. Now, so for the snow out of this, it's going to be a majority up here in northwestern Arkansas. You're not going to see a lot of snow here. Now, as so for this is what the Euro's wanting to do. This is what I'm saying. Even with these amounts, you're thinking, man, a half an inch of snow. It's not a lot of snow. It's not going to do much. Well, here's your problem. If you get a half an inch of snow with an inch of easing rain and sleet, it's just gonna really hold on those road issues. Okay, so even these low amounts can be a big problem. So keep that in mind in this area. Up here in northwestern Arkansas is where the better snow accumulation is going to be. And keep in mind also, all it takes. Let's talk about this. Okay, let's go back to the name it. All it takes is for your freezing. This is a loft, by the way. This is not surface. It's above our heads. All it takes is for the zero line to push southeast. And if that happens, you transition over faster. So there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things that need to be kind of tweaked with the forecast. But we'll keep you guys informed on all that here. So why does weather predictions come from the weather bell? Because they're acting like this is going to be nothing. Any idea why? Jessica, basically because model guys has been all over the place. Those apps, those weather apps, I'm stressing to you guys, come from this. Come from what you're seeing on your screen right now. That's model data. That's where they come from. That's what the apps are based off of. They're based off of model data. So the weather apps are going to tell you one thing. We're going to tell you another because our thoughts are not computer generated. It's all coming from here. It's not coming from a computer. It's coming from our heads. So that's why you're seeing different ideas right now because we're not a computer-based weather page. We are a human-based weather page. If that makes sense. Florida vacation now. At this point, I take a Florida vacation at this point here. So, okay, so thank you, Kevin. Okay, so that is the day 3 to day 7 winter day 3 to day 7 excuse me, hazardous weather outlook here at this point. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen, by the way. So let me see if I can get it up real fast. And also, I appreciate you guys tuning in, by the way. I'm probably going to hop off here, get graphics out, etc. I know we got a lot of people that have got questions, trying to figure out what's going on, etc. Okay. Thank you for sending me that, Kevin, in the PM. Okay. So, I won $10 off your last winter forecast. Oh, that's funny. What do you think accumulation is going to be forbidden? You're going to have to give me next day or so about accumulations. I'm just going to tell you that now. Let me see. I just don't hear much about Pocahontas and Randolph County. Chase, all our maps are user-friendly. All our maps are divided up to counties and cities. So nobody's left out. Nobody's left out at all. All you got to do with those maps, they're divided up on the right side. That's why you have the county side with this. Mickey, that's a good question. You change the dry line setup. You're not going to get a dry line setup with this. It's not severe weather, but setting up in the River Valley in Franklin and Johnson County. I was talking to a forecaster named Michael Monica. He's a really great guy. He runs not severe, Southern Plains Weather 30, and we were talking about the River Valley because he lives there. And basically, what happened in the River Valley is it would, let me take this off, by the way. So this is just solely precipitation. You can see what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom this down, and you can see what it's doing for ice, by the way. This is just simply for ice. All right, there's your freezing rain. So I was really worried about freezing rain through this area. Let me see if I can pull up a static map on here. Okay, so this static map here. So this is much better. Heavy snow northwest, freezing rain and sleet for much of Arkansas. Well below normal temperatures here. The brown patches you're seeing is drought, by the way. And then you got your heavy rain potential. So remember, your heavy rain potential was over Arkansas over the last couple of days. Now it has shifted east. So remember, we were talking about a flooding situation with this and a severe threat, and now we're talking about a potential significant ice storm out of this. So that just goes to show you how bad computer model guidance has been back and forth over the last couple of days here. But back to what I was saying about the River Valley. Basically, what could happen, I'm going to draw this out. Your colder air, probably similar to what happened the last event, can sneak down into the River Valley region coming out from eastern Arkansas. So that could bust temperatures over here, and that's why you're having the ice potential over there in the River Valley region and going over to snow and sleet. So I learned this with the last event. Just because you're in the River Valley doesn't mean you're going to stay warm. Let's take this for example. H&R was supposed to be 45. Russellville was at 33. So just because you're in the River Valley doesn't mean you're going to stay warm out of this situation. Just keep that in mind here, okay? So this may be a stupid question, by the way, guys. No question's ever stupid unless it's stupid. that's just how it is. No question's ever stupid. So if y'all have, especially Vanessa, your question, it's not stupid at all. It's a really great question. This may be stupid. Is there going to be a possibility of gas shortages as well as the last February storm? I doubt it. And Mark, thank you for grabbing that. I doubt it. Temperatures will not be as bad as it was last February. It's just not going to be that bad. Ice accumulation is a completely different beast to deal with. Yes, it could potentially be dangerous. Yes, you could potentially be dealing with power outages, etc. But I don't think it's going to get to the magnitude of what last year was. Last year was a completely different beast to where it was with this situation here. So just kind of keep that in mind. I hope that doesn't happen. I can see that happening, honestly, but I don't think that's going to be a situation here. I don't think it's going to get to the magnitude of what it was last time here. So, what was that question? Somebody said, what was his answer? Please tag me in that question here, guys. So, has Reed Timmer jumped on this too, especially sounding? I don't know. I honestly don't know what Reed's doing. I think, honestly, my problem is with Reed is he's going to see severe weather out here, and he's going to go straight to the severe weather in the Dixie area. So I don't know if he's going to chase the winter storm here in Arkansas or not. The only thing I would probably say is if you don't get severe weather in Southeast, he'll probably try to come towards Arkansas. I wouldn't put that past him for him to try to come towards Arkansas and cover an ice storm here. But if there's severe weather, you know Reed's going to be on top of the severe weather. So just kind of keep that in mind here. But let's see here. Okay, so ground temperatures. Let's talk about ground temperatures here. I knew somebody was going to ask about ground temperatures with this. Let's talk about it real fast, okay? So I'm pulling it up, by the way, okay? Thank you, guys. I know we're still right around at 200, 300 range. Thank you, guys, for the lives. Thank you, guys, for staying to this live stream by this long. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it, guys. I know everybody, you see that 1,000 come out, and then it rapidly drops because everybody loses their patience. Thank you guys for being here, okay? Thank you guys for listening to this all the way through, okay? So let's take, for example, this is right now, okay? So keep in mind this is in the middle of the day. Take this, for example, okay? Your averages, okay? So this is the middle of the day right now, okay? So north is 65, but your average right now is 45 degrees. So that's been your ground temperature, is 45 degrees, okay? And then your scale over here. So you can see temperatures 47, 47, 41, 39, 42, 40. You're going up because you're having a 70-degree day. Okay, once temperatures come out and once temperatures drop below freezing, your ground temperatures are going to crash. Okay, ground temperatures mean nothing when you're dealing with ice, especially sleet. Sleet accumulates on ground extremely easy. It's just like throwing an ice cube on the ground and seeing how long it takes to melt. Sleet accumulates on grounds extremely easy. It takes a very long time to melt a sleet pellet versus a snowflake. Snowflakes melt faster than sleet pellets. Okay, sleet pellets accumulate very quickly. That's why sleet causes so many issues because it builds up. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna go take a look at the 18Z GFS. The 18Z GFS is just a bit. I'm curious to see what it's gonna do. Anybody that's seen the 18Z, do me a favor. Rate me from 1 to 10. How bad is it before I go look at it? If anybody has seen the GFS before I have, rate it from 1 to 10, and we'll see. I'll go look at it here. But I haven't looked at it just yet. I'm kind of buying a little bit of time. Driving from northwest Arkansas to central Arkansas, possible on Sunday. By then, we'll be recovering from what could be a winter storm or an ice storm. By Sunday, I want to say you should be okay. Right now, it's still too early because the problem is you have another system that may be coming in on Sunday that may bring snow here in Arkansas, and that may completely change the ball game for travel. So right now, I'm going to give you the thumbs up. Problem is, I'm going to kind of tweak my camera here a little bit, by the way. Sorry about the camera being weird. Right now, I'm going to give you the thumbs up. Still wait and see on all that. Get with me in the next couple of days and see what happens. Feel free to inbox the page, by the way. Is it less dangerous to drive on sleet versus ice and snow? Honestly, driving on sleet can be just as bad as trying to travel on freezing rain and snow. It's not as bad. It's less dangerous in a way, but you still don't want to go 80 miles per hour on a sleet-covered road. You just don't want to do it. It won't end well. So, you already know it's going to be a cluster. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm trying to bear myself on how bad the 18Z GFS is going to be because it's coming in colder with this. What time? Futurecast will be out over the next 1 to 2 days. We'll have that on our YouTube on here, okay? So I'm going to go take a look at it real quick, okay? So this is the 18Z, fresh off the press with this. So is there a third system still on track for Friday night? Still waiting to see on that, Connie. We'll know about that in the next couple of days here. Okay. All right. So, first off, okay, so this is first thing Wednesday morning, by the way, okay? Let me see here, okay, so that's over there in Oklahoma. Northern Arkansas. Let's take a look at it, okay? So this is first thing Wednesday morning, by the way. Wednesday morning, not Thursday morning, Wednesday morning. My problem is this. You're already getting ice Wednesday morning in Northern Arkansas. You know what that tells me? Your cold air is coming in much faster with the 18Z than it was before. Remember, the guy that's yesterday had the ice up here. Now it's here. You see the trend. You see what's going on. You see the cold air coming in southward with this. So it makes a world of difference. I can't stress this enough. It makes a world of difference on how important it is to have sampling from our system. By the way, while we're waiting on GFS, let's talk about that. Okay? Alright, so your system, okay? Okay, so let's take a look at it, okay? Your system, it's up here. There's your system up here. Over the last, you can see 156, 144, okay? So that's today's system down there in Texas, by the way, okay? Notice something. Your system has been way up here, completely offshore, okay? Alright, take a look what happened over the last 12 hours, okay? There's an upper level low here, okay? And look what finally came offshore. Look what finally came offshore today. This here is a big thing here in Arkansas. If you want to try to forecast this, a very big thing. You wanted this. You wanted to get your system mainland because that will help with your computer model, guys. That helps out significantly with this. Kevin, thank you. Yeah, and he's another forecaster, by the way, on Southern Plains Weather Authority. They cover regional areas, by the way, but with him rating it an 8 means that it's probably going to be pretty concerning here. So I think I know what's going on here, and I can see what the issue is going to be with this system, Kevin. It's coming in colder. It's coming in colder. Guidance is now starting to. It's now starting to come in a lot colder here. Yeah. By the way, he didn't hype either, guys. Um, if I'll put it like this: if he says winter weather, you might as well put it down on a notebook paper and just be done with it. So there it is, right there. Boy, the GFS, the 18Z GFS, man. I am getting very worried about a significant ice storm out of this. Good heavens, it is wanting to slam Central Arkansas with ice. I mean, you can't get any worse than this right now, okay? You honestly cannot get any worse than this at this point, okay? By the way, there's GFS. Inch of ice across the area. That's crippling. That is a crippling ice storm here in Arkansas if you go with the GFS here. So you notice the trend. You've gone from all rain. By the way, another thing, winds. It's another thing with this, okay? 30 to 40 mile per hour winds with an inch of ice. Folks, that is a 5 on that index that you saw earlier on the live stream. That's a 5. That is a straight 5 with that. That is a catastrophic ice storm with this. If you go with the 18Z GFS. Keep in mind, one run with this, okay? Slightly is putting it very, very broad. I'll just put it that way, okay? Donna, you know I'm going to send you this in the PMs later. You already know I'm going to send you this. But good heavens, it's wanting to come in with the ice. I mean, that is catastrophic right there. You do not want to see that. And even in some cases, by the way, this is 21Z Thursday. This is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. that's coming in with this. Okay? And you still have ice ongoing. Winter 18Z came in and brought violence. It woke up with some straight violence for Arkansas. I mean, it is not pretty at all. 30 to 40 mile per hour winds, over an inch of ice, transitioning over to sleet. The problem is, it's transitioning to sleet late. The damage is already done. So that's what's going on here. So the consistency is there for the potential of seeing a significant ice storm here. It is now Euro. It is now GFS. It is now NAM. It is now Canadian. I don't even want to go see the ensembles, because ensembles are probably going to be worse than this. All the models are now coming into an agreement. This is what we wanted to see. This is like a weight being lifted off your shoulders. Now we're starting to get an idea on what's going on. This is the power of getting that sampling in with the systems here. So now you're noticing how models are coming in colder and colder and colder and colder and colder. That is 18Z Thursday afternoon. This is still ongoing. I am really worried to see what the total ice accumulations are going to be. You're already at almost 2 inches of ice at the afternoon hours. You still have to go off of later in the evening and later into the overnight hours. Okay, so an all-out winter storm, all-out ice storm out of this. Okay, if you go with the GFS here, and I don't like using one model, but good lord, I mean, look at there. I mean, look at that. And you finally transition over to sleet, but the problem is you're too late. It's done. You finally transition over to sleet, but the problem is you're done at this point. Okay? So this is what it's wanting to do with ice. Okay? So now we're starting to get a good idea. Almost 2 inches of ice, freezing rain, by the way, from Little Rock along I-40 throughout this area here, from Little Rock to Memphis, okay? And in a generalized area of over 1/4 inch of ice. Lower in southern Arkansas because of the rain, lower in northern Arkansas because of the sleet and snow up here. This is sleet, by the way, okay? Sleet totals. Over 2 inches of sleet in this area over 2 inches of ice is going to cause significant issues. Okay, so that's what I'm worried about with the 18Z GFS. If you stuck around this live stream by this point, you're in for a really good treat here. So it's catastrophic. I mean, God bless. I mean, that is. I thought the GFS was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. One thing I want to note here with the GFS, I mean, the only thing is it doesn't really transition everybody over to snow, which I still think that's a little bit underdone. I think somebody may get a half an inch of snow here, but the better confidence of snow accumulations are up here in northwest Arkansas. Better confidence of significant ice accumulations across central and eastern Arkansas, and that's southwest. So that's the number one thing that I'm worried about. I'm really, really starting to get concerned about significant icing with this event. Okay, so when do you think confidence will increase by the point that you can start canceling plans for Friday and Saturday? As a matter of fact, Keith, I see this with the 0Z tonight and into tomorrow morning. I would probably go ahead and start canceling your plans. Because the problem is now you've got your system here, you're starting to get samples. You're starting to get samples from your system. Colder is starting to come in colder, which we've been warning about. That's why we didn't jump with that northern trend yesterday. I'm going to try to go back. I don't know if it's going to let me go back that far in advance. But let's take this for example. Okay, so this is the 18Z from yesterday. This is the 18Z from yesterday, by the way. Okay? All right, so this is yesterday's ice. Okay? Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay? That was yesterday. All right, this is today. All right, let's go to today real quick. Latest run today. Okay? There's today. Further south, colder across northern Arkansas, but ice across central Arkansas. And this is what we've been talking about. You notice the shift in model guidance over the last 12 to 24 hours. This is why you never buy a northern shift with a model guidance this far in advance. You don't buy it. You don't buy it at all. You do not buy it. Let's go and take a look at model comparisons. Okay? All right, so we're going to use the GFS, and we're going to go back to yesterday. Okay? Notice the difference. Okay? There's a difference between the model guidance from yesterday. Okay? Today's runs is much colder and further south. Yesterday, you were further north. Okay? That's that day 4, day 5 northern pump fake that we always talk about. Okay? Notice something. You've come down from northern Arkansas to southern Arkansas, central, and even in some cases now, you go with the newest GFS, you start talking southern Arkansas down here. Now you're starting to get into southern Arkansas with this. Okay? So, Mississippi County, has anyone heard anything? Mississippi County up there in northeast Arkansas, prepare for significant icing. That's what we're talking about up there in northeastern Arkansas. I would fully expect, Mark, that is a great question. I am fully expecting this ice storm warnings to start rolling out by tomorrow. If you see this tomorrow, you will have ice storm warnings out. Okay? That's my worry at this point. That's the concern I have right now here. So, what about the energy late Thursday and into that? I'm going to go look. I'm going to go look at it real quick, Kevin. Thank you for reminding me about that. So, I love how I've been live for an hour and a half, and I still have over 300 people on this live stream. Thank you guys for being here. Heart goes out to y'all. So, that's what it's wanting to do. So, the problem is, Kevin, okay, you're freezing. By the way, eastern Arkansas, you're done. There's just no coming back from this. So, Mama Donna down there, it slams you with ice. That's what I've been warning you about. It slams you with ice down there. But here's your issue, okay? You're struggling trying to get the snow to change over here in Central Arkansas. It just can't do it because of your system. So the snow reward would go from northern northwest Arkansas. The ice would come here, okay? And in southern Arkansas, which we've been preaching about it being a cold rain, by the way, ice now. So now you're seeing a trend southward here. And another thing I want to show you guys, okay? This is the number one thing I love about Weather Belt. This is what's called the model run-to-run change, okay? When it's orange, it means warmer. When it's blue, it means colder. That means that you thought the 12Z was cold. You thought the 12Z was cold. 18Z said, literally came in, said, hold my beer, and came in much colder with the temperatures, okay? 5-degree difference makes a world of difference whenever you're trying to forecast winter weather here in Arkansas. Okay, so that's what's going on here. Guidance is trending, and also take this out to Friday now. Look what's going on with Friday. You're starting to trend colder on Friday now with this. So the more you go, the more it's trending colder and further south and further south and further south. Now you're starting to include southern Arkansas. So that map you saw on first look, you might as well just ball it up, throw it in the trash. Because now you're starting to notice a trend. So what we're going to do is tonight around 9, 10 o'clock, I'm going to see what zero guidance does, and I'm going to post it tonight. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. I want to see what the zero Z guidance is going to do tonight. Once we get that in, and it's going to be a late post, by the way. It's going to be a very late post, probably about 10, 11 o'clock tonight. It's going to be very late. But you're going to see another preset map come out from us. Okay? This is why we're concerned about the potential of an ice event here in Arkansas. All right? So, Texarkana down there, if you go to GFS, start slamming you with ice down there. So, it's Hot Springs. I consider Hot Springs Central Arkansas. Some folks will probably argue with me about it, but I personally consider it Central Arkansas at this point. Okay? Let me see here. Yes, with heavy ice. I would probably go ahead and, yeah, that's a good point. I think that was Eden that made that comment. Paper bowls and plates goes a long way, especially if you don't have water. I think you'll have water with this. I don't think you're going to have, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, never mind, just hit me in the head. Problem is, another issue we're going to have with this. Bursting pipes because of the falling temperatures. I just thought about that. That's another concern. So now we're piling on concerns with power outages, tree limbs coming down on power lines, road condition problems, pipes busting because of the temperatures. The temperatures starting to fall well below freezing. There's a lot of issues that could come out of this, guys. There's a lot that's coming out. Okay, so be prepared for that. Okay. I stocked up on canned soup and all that. That's a good idea. Let me see here. I need to refill my holders at. Okay, so like I said before, we'll keep you guys informed. That's all I got right now. But GFS verifies it's definitely got to be a 5. No question about it. There's no question at all. It'll be a 4 or a 5, depending on where you are. But it would definitely be a 5. And let's go back to that real quick. Okay, so. I didn't mean to drag this live stream out that long, by the way, but I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys. And Alice makes a good point. The later these live streams go, the more in depth it starts getting. But let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is the ice damage index. Okay, and I want to talk about this because this is going to get posted. This is going to get posted whenever we get a better feel on what's going to happen. Okay, so all right. So right now, let's take GFS for example. And let's run with it. Let's say it happens. It just verifies everything set in stone. It happens, okay? It'll be a 5. 5 is anything greater than an inch of ice, no matter what your winds are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. And then the problem is, with GFS, you have 30 to 40 mile per hour winds with an inch of ice. That's catastrophic. That is catastrophic damage here. That's a 5. That's catastrophic damage to power systems, along with extensive tree damage. Outages could last... probably, it says the official thing says several weeks. I would say probably easily a week because of how technology is nowadays. The definitions for this was created in 2010. Now it's 2022. So the energy with their power outage and how fast they can get it out is pretty substantial from back then. But you can see what's going on here. So that's it. That's it. Like I said, for GFS verifies, it's a 5. NAM verifies, it's a 4. Euro. Let's take a look. I want to take a look at Euro real quick. Okay, so I wish I could put that side by side. And the problem is, if I put that side by side, it's going to make this map smaller. So I'm going to look at it on this screen over here. And we're going to do that real fast here. So the Euro is suggesting... Okay, so the Euro is... further, oh wait, hold on, let me double check, make sure that's correct. Okay, so Euro's further north with the ice accumulation. However, I don't buy that. I think the Euro's a little further north. Okay, I think the Euro, the ball is GFS NAM came south. Euro is still kind of fighting that battle right now here. So you get ice here, but it's still a little bit further north than the GFS Nero, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the 0Z Euro does tonight. But if the Euro verifies for northern Arkansas, it would be, let's go here, let's take a look, it'll be a 4 or 5. So a generalized 4 to 5 at this point, okay? Right now, I know everyone wants me to draw this out on the map. I physically can't do that at this point. I can't, because I need to see what your accumulations are going to be right now, okay? So that will happen over the next day or so. But this is a new graphic. First of all, I really appreciate you guys for liking this graphic. It took a lot of work, but this is a new graphic that we're putting out to you guys, okay? So at this moment, don't focus on localized areas, okay? We will have a map for this. I'm glad everybody wants a map for this. I'm really glad. That's the number one question I was going to ask you guys over the last couple of minutes here. I kept forgetting that you guys wanted to see a map out of this. I'm really glad you guys wanted to see that. So I'm going to draw this out on a map. I'm going to separate it from cities to counties so people know where they are. But it's very crucial that you know where your counties are. It's very, very crucial, guys. Okay? But this is what I'm talking about. This is the problem I have. You start talking 4 to 5, you start talking about power outages at this point. And even if you recover temperature-wise, the problem is if tree limbs are down on power lines. And I've seen in situations with ice storms where complete transformers explode because of how much ice that goes on it. If that is the case, then you will talk 5 to 10 days without power. Batteries, power banks, that is a really good thing to stock up on right now. Okay, very, very good thing. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys right now. Okay, I appreciate you guys for being here. Batteries and lanterns, games, puzzles, coloring books. Oh God. Thank you for you guys being here. It's been a long, almost 2 hours now being live. I know it gives you guys a better understanding. I feel like this play is just like a school con or a tornado rating map. We definitely need it. Yeah, definitely. I'll have this out for you guys. Okay. Main thing I want to stress with this. Okay. I would say, just based off of this entire live stream, from guidance I've seen across the board, and this is not even me looking at these summos either. Summos are, I don't even want to talk about these summos. But my point is, the majority has at least a 3 to a 5 right now. You've thrown out 2, 1, 0. You've thrown it out at this point. Now you're talking 3 to 4 to 5 at this time. Okay, so now it's a wait and see at this point. The 18Z GFS is extremely concerning, and I'm gonna be straight up with you. I've had this gut feeling for the last couple of days. I cannot rule out somebody getting an inch or 2 inches of ice out of this. By the way, I'm not Derek. I'm Cameron. I can't rule out. I can't rule out somebody seeing accumulating ice out of this. I'll talk about easily over an inch or higher at this point. I can't rule it out. My worry is this: you start talking winds in excess of 35 to 40 miles per hour, and this is the wind gusts. Okay, so I'm gonna go to wind. That was wind gusts, by the way. Sustained winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. So look at your graphic here. Okay, here's your 5s here. Okay, so this is for gust and or sustained wind. Okay, 15 to 25 mile per hour sustained gusts with over an inch of ice is catastrophic. It's done. Okay, heavy freezing rain. And another concern that I have, I want to look at something real quick before I get in this live stream. Okay, I want to look at something real fast before I end this live stream. I'm going to go to the GFS, and I'm praying to God it does not have what I'm thinking it's fixing to have. I'm really, really hoping it doesn't have what I'm thinking it's fixing to have. What I'm worried about with this, because when you throw heavy freezing rain in this, you start getting concerned about, okay, so it doesn't do what I think it was trying to do, and I'm worried about, what I was worried about was thunder freezing rain or thunder sleet with this. That's what I was worried about. Problem is, you have no instability. So it's just heavy rain. It's just heavy freezing rain with this here. But I cannot rule out I can't rule out a rumble of thunder or something like that, because this is a very dynamic system, and it's going to gain strength the further east it goes. So I can't rule that out. But right now, Goddess doesn't have it, which is thankfully it doesn't. I'm going to go to the 18Z. My problem is 18Z. I just realized I was 12Z. Let's go to 18Z real quick. Okay, so back this up a little bit. Okay, so it doesn't have it. That's good. I'm not seeing any instability with this, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. You do not want instability out of this. Okay. All right. So, getting new information in. By the way, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see winter storm watches coming out later this evening or tonight for the metro if trends hold. Okay. So, looking at the sounding, not seeing that concern. My problem is it's just heavy freezing rain. That is just a straight heavy freezing rain event that I'm worried about. Okay. So, my point is, stock up, get ready, go to the grocery stores if you need. I would heavily suggest doing it today. If you can't do it today, at least tomorrow. At least tomorrow. At the bare minimum tomorrow. Okay? Wednesday is going to be very chaotic. It just holds. It's going to be very chaotic on Wednesday. So my advice is to do it tomorrow or at earliest today. Okay? We will keep you guys informed. That's all I got. I appreciate y'all for being here. Let me see here. Richie, yeah. Problem is, I'm gonna adjust that real quick. You don't need thunder, freezing rain to get a crippling ice storm. You just don't need it. I threw that potential out because of this system. I don't think that's going to be the case here in Arkansas. My problem is you have storms south of Arkansas. You have thunderstorms south of Arkansas. So even if you just get heavy freezing rain here, that's more than enough. You don't need thunder, freezing rain, or anything like that. All that does, it just accelerates your ice accumulations, which we don't want right now. Okay, so I just want to talk about that. I'm guessing we're having an ice storm. Yep, that's the biggest thing with this. I think this is going to be an ice storm. Winter storm from northern Arkansas, northwest. I think this is going to be primarily an ice storm here. I'm very, very worried about that. Okay, so we'll keep you guys informed. I'll keep you guys informed. We got a lot of work to do. I got your forecast coming up. We got a lot of graphics got to come out, so I got to break away. I'm expecting ice storm warnings with this setup. Okay, there's a lot of things that are coming out right now. We're seeing a colder and further south trend with this, guys. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here in your source for all things Arkansas.